Was such an incredible event in the heart of New York City at Times Square, but the jumping continues here at Icahn Stadium, and a woman, I had to look it up, who was a nearly 20-foot long jumper back in the high school days.
Yeah, back in the days. No, long jump, I think, especially when you're figuring out what you're going to be great at, in high school, I did long jump, high jump, 1, 2, and 4. And so I really love watching long jumpers. And I just can't imagine what it was like for them to compete in Times Square last night. Must have been awesome.
See, the 7-time national champion from Great Britain, Jasmine Sawyers, is there. Jasmine Moore, history made in Paris for her as she won a couple of medals.
Yeah, first woman to win a bronze medal in long jump and triple jump. She had a fantastic night last night.
And then Quanesha Burks of the United States, out of the University of Alabama. And if there is a star of the show, the reigning Olympic champion, now reigning world champion, Davis-Woodall. That event last night was built for her.
Yeah.
And to her credit, she reached out to the Athlos folks after last year when it was all racing and said, where's my event?
Where's field? And she was right. They've added so much to the competition. Tara, one of our most electric performers in track and field. You kind of can't take your eye off of her once she gets going.
Where'd she go to college?
Let me think. No, the only college, University of Texas. Hook 'em, baby. Awesome. Yeah, this is so great. I love that they've incorporated the long jump, and they are center stage again tonight. They were center stage in Times Square last night, and right now they have built the long jump pit right across from us, right in front of the stage. It's just absolutely perfect for these incredible women.
Yeah, Jasmine sort of taking a deep breath. She says, this is just as exciting as being at Times Square. And so these women will all have one jump here. They'll have 2 rounds of jumps, and then we're going to separate the field down to a top 2, and then they're going to go head-to-head. So the way this format is set up, too, it's really kind of fun to watch a different style of competition.
Love that. Clean on the board again.
Yeah, that elevated board gives a little bit more spring under your step. There are some women who actually gravitate towards some of those elevated runways versus the standard runways at the track level. The track here at Icahn does have long jumps, but it's on the far side of the field, on the outside of the backstretch. And here we get another look at Sawyers coming down straight away, and crowd reacted well, and she's now got her mark at 6 meters 22, which is 20 feet 5 inches. So again, these 4 women will have 2 rounds of jumps, and they'll have this round, and then we'll go back to the track. So they're also kind of staggering things. And now here is the Florida Gator, Jasmine Moore.
Yeah, we'll see what she has in store. You talk about the versatility that she's had to be able to have success at this level, at the elite level, in the long jump and the triple jump. Certainly a formidable competitor here at Athlos.
3-time U.S. champion on the runway.
Ooh, that looked good, Paul. That looked good. Tremendous extension in the air. Wow.
Can we also just give props to the folks who were out here yesterday during our dress rehearsal that were filling bags of sand to fill that pit?
It's funny, I remember Gabby Thomas mentioned that Alexis Ohanian had reached out to a few people, and I remember talking to him about this, and he was like, what is the long jump usually like, and what can we do to make it different? And he's like, oh, we can just build a pit. And I was like, it never crossed my mind. But that kind of creativity that he's brought to this event is truly spectacular.
So Jasmine Moore takes the lead, 6 meters 51, 21 feet 4 1/4. And here's Quanesha Burks. Again, University of Alabama in 2017, but you talk about reasons to care about athletes. As a young person being raised by her grandmother, she worked during high school at a local fast food restaurant just to pay for her grandmother's car insurance so she could get to work to help raise the kids, and then worked around that fast food schedule to try to compete at high school track, and then now becomes a 3-time U.S. champion, and sitting here in New York City,
that's right,
holding this crowd and getting ready for her first jump of the night.
Yeah, it's that kind of work ethic that takes you a long way. No surprise that she's made it all the way here. She got all that board, Paul, but looks like a clean jump for her as well.
And that stick that goes into the ground measures back to the point at which her body is furthest back from her landing as she comes down. And again, you're trying to, again, just use gravity, but also use that speed. No wonder you were so good.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about when I used to jump and when they used the tape measure. I don't want to date myself, and now they have the electric measurement that gives a more precise and a quick measurement for these ladies.
It's listed at 19:11 3/4. And that affords us the opportunity to welcome Tara Davis-Woodall. And she's not only built for these moments, but absolutely bringing this crowd to life.
Are you ready? Are you ready? We're ready. We're ready. And it's the specific cadence of the clap that the athletes love. They don't want you to rush it. They want you to kind of get into it and then really build up that momentum for the moment.
At the University of Texas, broke Jackie Joyner-Kersey's collegiate record. Here is the Olympic and world champion. And the crowd seems to like it.
I thought she had gotten a little bit over the board, but it looks like she must have gotten all the board. No surprise there. She's done this over and over again at the highest levels and just so consistent.
And Davis-Woodall to the lead, 21 feet 10 inches, and she's down there to talk about it with Lara.
Tara Davis-Woodall's listening to the crowd as well. You have been part of history already this weekend. You brought long jump to Times Square. You brought long jump to Athlos.
Yes.
How much are you feeding off of this environment to compete?
This is so incredible. Like, the marks matter, but they don't matter when we have this. This is incredible, and I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful to come out here and jump in front of a crowd, do what I do and what I love the most, and I'm so blessed and thankful to be here.
And I saw you celebrating with Miss Sai after she had her crown. Describe this dynamic between them.
That's my best friend. That's my sister from another mister. I mean, she has my heart, and I'm so happy for her.
Well, great way to start the competition.
Thank you.
So much speed. Herself a really good sprinter back into her youth days, and born and raised just outside of Los Angeles. And boy, is she looking forward to 3 years from now when she can potentially defend that Olympic title in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
there is a look at the crowd in appreciation for what they saw in that first round. Tara Davis-Woodall and Jasmine Moore, currently the two that would move on to the final with a second round of jumping still to come. Carrie?